Here's a walk around video from this weekend's historic sale at Ascot Race Course. It takes place on the 7th of March 2026. Hopefully the weather will be as nice as it was when I visited on the Thursday just before. Hopefully you're seeing this video in time for the auction as well, just in case you did want to bid on anything. It's an eclectic mix for historics, especially early in the year. You've got that huge international that was at the start of the video. You've got a Project Lamborghini Espada here, which I think it had £40-something thousand spent on it in 1997, including a body restoration and engine rebuild. But unfortunately, the body is in reasonably poor shape. There's lots of cracking to the roof. You can see the corrosion to the wheels there, and it looks like the engine hasn't run in quite some time. You'll see the engine right at the end of the video if you'd like to see it. That car is no reserve, but I expect it needs a lot of money spent on it, possibly more than it's actually worth. The Citroen DS next to it was a rally car. Has it competed in rallies as well and has specific conversions. You've got things like this van, which comes equipped as a coffee stall. You've got this Rolls-Royce Camargue, which looks to be one of a few cars offered from a formerly Middle Eastern collection. An interesting car, Camargue. There is another one coming up at auction soon, but they're cars you rarely see. I really am a fan of them. I'd quite like to have one. I did have a look around it. You've got a Pantera over in the background there, which is another of those cars that looks to have come from the Middle East. And there's also an Alfa Montreal with very little history that had people swarming around it when I was there. There's lots of cars in the auction. As I said, it was really nice and sunny, almost balmy when I was driving around, walking around rather, looking at cars. I'm thinking of driving. And I hope it's the same for the auction, because Ascot is pretty grim when it's cold. I think the rain isn't too bad, but when it's cold there, it's pretty miserable. Having been there a few years ago when it was freezing, it wasn't very much fun. Lots of cars inside, lots of high-value cars as always, but plenty of mid-range too for the people that aren't quite looking in the hundreds of thousands. You've got everyman classics, you've got modern classics in there like this Ferrari 355. It's a shame it's not a manual gearbox car, but it does look reasonably guided. It is a Spider, so maybe not as popular for everyone, but I thought it was a nice looking thing. I was also a bit disappointed at that beautiful yellow 911, the 993 up ahead. Although it has a grey interior, it does have hardback colour-coded seats, but that is also an automatic rather than manual, and I suspect that the value would be quite a lot higher for a speed yellow car if it was a manual. Although when walking around, it seems like I was one of the only ones who actually liked the colour, which probably isn't too surprising for a yellow car, but not a yellow 911. I'm sure I've seen the 190 SL that's beside it before as well, and I've definitely seen the big yellow international truck outside before at a historics auction. It didn't sell, so I'm curious to see if it sells for this auction. Moving on, there is an SLS